productive country, the first thing people say to me is, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Whenever I shout that we must move the country from consumption to production, I talk about every area. No area in particular will you say the country is working. No area. Because if there is, you will see the difference in everything. Tourism, for example, can generate a lot of income for Nigeria. We have very interesting places to talk. Even we in Nigeria don't. Where there's little or nothing to see, then go around Nigeria where we have a lot to see and appreciate. I told Ben an interesting story. Years back, I wore a normal local clothes, and I went to a shopping center in London with a friend of mine, and the white man saw me and said, "This looks lovely. It is fantastic. Where did you buy it?" I said, "It's from Nigeria." So, oh, that's far away. I won't have that. But I said, maybe when I'm coming back again, if you give me your contact, I'll buy one for you. And he turned to me and said, "What if I buy this one you're wearing?" And I gave him a price that was over. I said, "Okay, yes, you can buy it for £100. This is something I sold there for about less than £10. He said, "Yes, I'll wait here." So I just jumped into my car, drove to my house, changed it and brought it down, made £100. Now what it takes. Comparable countries with Nigeria are making a fortune from tourism. Today, after they had BRICS country, you might know after the BRICS country were introduced, which was Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and then South Africa eventually. Another one that meeting. They tried to form what they call mint country. Those mint countries were Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Turkey. If you go along those countries I mentioned today, the other three are making a fortune from tourism. Mexico is making a lot of revenue today from tourism. Indonesia, no areas of Indonesia, Bali, everything, are making a fortune from tourism. Turkey, of all these countries, the nearest one to us is Turkey. So I'm going to use Turkey to show you what is happening. Turkey today, in terms of land science, Turkey and Nigeria is only about 20%, bigger than Turkey. Turkey is about 783,000 just plus square kilometers. We are 923,000 thereabouts square kilometers. Turkey in 2024 made $61.something billion for tourism. That is far more that we make from oil and all other foreign revenues from tourism. 62 million people visit Turkey in 1 year. What are they offering? Whatever the offering we have, we don't even make 10% of what they make from tourism. We're not even making that. So imagine if you are focused on local tourism and we're able to make a third of what they are making. That should be about $20 billion for everything, from villa, everything, the case. We have so many places to go, which we're not doing, and everything. And I always say it, whenever we talk, people say, oh, maybe you're criticizing the government. I'm not criticizing any government. We cannot have a situation where we have leaders who will tell us every day they're going to holidays abroad. The Turkish president does not give Turkey for holidays in another person's country. The American president doesn't have a lot of America for holidays. Neither do other leaders in the world go outside their country for holidays. That is what we must institute. Those who say they are leaders, you are holidays and everything, and senators, and legislators, House of Rep members, House of Assembly members, instead of going to visit even their own constituency, they go abroad. It will not work. I challenged last time. I said, what if the president decides to go and spend 1 week in Meduguri? We used to have a very good lake there, a very peaceful. What if he decides to go to Taraba, Mambila? What if he decides to go to Yankari? What if he decides, the only one is in, what if he decides to go to Obudu? There's so many places you can go, but we're not going there. Everybody is excited about going to London, which, to the best of my knowledge, I'm not saying it's not good to go, but we need to develop domestic tourism. It is critical. A source, an immense source of revenue. These are the things that I keep saying that we should encourage, support, and making sure. I just show you a content, what they make. But because we have oil money we're sharing, nobody here wants to be productive. Everybody just thinks every month, let's do activity. I must thank those who are organizing this. I can thank the governor of Enugu State, who I can see is trying to put a few infrastructure that is trying to bring Enugu back. When would somebody from Enugu, those of us from this part of the world say, I'm going to Enugu for my holidays? I can tell you, to spend a week in Nikelekia is better than spend 2 months in most of our places that people travel to. But here you go home and tell your people we are going to Enugu for our holidays. Nobody will be excited. It's true. If you go home now and say, oh, listen, everybody, we are going to Enugu for holidays. Everybody will keep quiet. If you say we are going to London, everybody will jump up. Right? But for us to achieve that, there's a lot we need to do. We need to secure the country. It is critical. Because there's nothing Kenya, most part of Africa, Mauritius and everything, live off tourism. They make a fortune in it. So it's important that we develop this sector aggressively. There's opportunity in this sector. We can use it to become one of those areas that will help us building a better country. I just show you a country less than our size. We have all it takes in terms of water, in terms of students. We have more than Turkey. Most of if we are necessary, we will do the right things. I'm not targeting that we're going to start tomorrow and make what they're making. But we cannot continue to where we're going. There were this beautiful area. In Turkey, tourism employed millions of people. Because one of the places that, if it's working, millions of people will be employed. Your airports, your facilities. You might not know, most airports in Nigeria, actually unprofitable. But imagine if they develop domestic tourism. You see 20 flights coming to Enugu every day. The hotels will be filled up. Things will be working because the effect of tourism is that it is something that is so, its contribution is so immeasurable. But I can tell you, as a big country like Nigeria, I don't think tourism contributes even 1% of our GDP. But go to other countries, you will see, like you said, I'm talking about Turkey, contribute about between 7 and 10 to their GDP. They take it as serious. Government focuses, but they call it Project Future. Tourism, very important to them. And because of it, they are growing. And they don't know why. We are talking about a national corridor here. They're not talking, they call it Project Future. Countries, tiny countries like Singapore, live off tourism, people visiting, services, everything. Because imagine what it is, hotels will be filled up, people will walk with restaurants everywhere. If you go to small tiny countries and see how people coming there for holidays, eating on the street, you go to Mauritius, people are so many things. And we have all that here. All we need is for government to focus on it. If governor says he's going to holidays, let him leave Enugu and go to Oshuka. It will work. All of us, not just it. By doing that, he will know what is happening around there. He will come do it, serve them better, and everything. So my little contribution today is to say that domestic tourism can contribute immensely, one, to our GDP, immensely, to our growth, create jobs where we have huge unemployment, and lead to other things that we need to do. For those who are working hard in this aspect, I just wish you well. Mine is, how do I say it? I was just going around and seeing the wonderful work done with our people. And people are doing and all that. And I assure you, as you do this, you can count me as a partner. It's one of those things I say my first that I'm going to deal with. In order for us to be productive. In Enugu here now, hotels are empty. People are not visiting. So you build a hotel, have a business, and not regularly patronized. So we need to turn it around. And the turning it around is to support local domestic tourism, to support our small businesses, to support domestic tourism. Because there are people who are dealers of clothing and trade, all this and everything. The only thing that can make it work is tourism. And the world is looking for where to go. The number of tourists that came to Nigeria in 2024 is not up to 2 million. And I've just told you that another country is over 2 million. This is not first world, so you won't say it's America. You won't say it's Turkey. 62 million, over 62 million. Why can't Nigeria do 10% of that? Why can't we do a quarter of that? Why can't we do half of that? That's the lesson we need to learn. Because every day you can say, oh, how are we going to stabilize our currency? You stabilize your currency by being productive. Because you export goods, you export services, you provide a conducive environment. Imagine if you had millions of people coming here for tourism. I told you now that they had over $61 billion in earning Turkey in 2024 for tourism. Imagine we had 20 million people, each spending about $1,000. That's $20 billion. Your remittances, which is now going down, if this is okay, and Nigerians living abroad will have remitted more. You're getting for remittances about 30, and you're getting for more your days. It will be a different country. You won't be looking for foreign exchange. Because every visitor that comes here from abroad spends an average of $1,000. And that is why it must be encouraged. It must be supported and everything. Let me conclude by saying, I'm your partner in this. Again, I said it before. Rest assured you're doing the right thing. It is an area where we must focus. Let us make this country work. If it works for everybody. We must remove it from consumption to production. A new Nigeria is possible. Thank you.